Okay, so change to DMS. 38.573 is going to be 38 degrees. Take the 0.573 times 60 is 34 minutes. Subtract the 34 times 60, 23. You do 22.8, I guess, would be fine for seconds, or 23 seconds. Either one would be fine. Convert to DMS, or to DD from DMS, to 41.3, 41 and 38 minutes, 24 seconds. So we'll start with 24 divided by 60. We're going to add the 38 to that. Divide that by 60, turn in degrees, add the 41. 41.64. Is that what you got? Cool. Down here, this works so much better if I put them vertically. $39 and 42 are 81, which is 1 minute with 21 seconds left over. Take out 80, right? So 27 and 18 makes 46. Or 127 and 18 makes 46, I should say. 14 and 23 makes 37. 37 degrees, 46 minutes, 21 seconds. Anybody get that? And over here, again, it works so much better if we put them vertically. Must borrow, so this is going to become 17, and this will become 101. The difference there is going to be 53 seconds. 17 minus 51, must borrow, this is 38, and this is now 77. Minus 51 is 26. 38 minus 13 is 25. 25, 26, 53. Cool. Now, we talked about, we've mentioned some words. One of them is the word acute. The other one is the word obtuse. What do they mean? Okay. In the middle, we have a right angle, which is 90 degrees. Acute is smaller than 90. Obtuse is bigger than 90. Acute means able to focus in, take a very narrow view. So you can focus in, see all the details. But if you're an acute thinker, you see the details, but you don't see the wide, big picture. An obtuse thinker gets the wide view, sees the wide, big picture, but doesn't see the details. So the reason we need to know the acute and obtuse and review that is because the first thing we're going to do for today is we're going to talk about measuring angles. And we've looked at how those degrees are figured out as being a fraction of a whole circle, or the difference in direction if you're using navigation. Well, the tool we're going to use for measuring angles is called a protractor. Do you guys still get a protractor in your kit, your drafting kit? You do not, okay. Well, a protractor is just a half circle looking thing. Pretend that looks like a half circle. Well, we'll try it again down here. We'll pretend I didn't totally butcher that. Which it isn't horrible. I've done worse. That's what a protractor looks like. And usually there's a spot either it's at the bottom edge, or on many of them it's up from the edge a little bit. And that spot is marked 0 on each side, or 0 says 360. Of course, right at the top here is 90. So this is going to be marked. So I've got this right. We'll see. Come on. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. But it's also marked 170, 160, 150, 140, 130, 120, 110, 100. And the other side looks exactly the same as that. Same numbering up through there. So if I have an angle on here, what I need to do is this spot right here is where the vertex of that angle has to go. One side of the angle has to go on one of these zeros. Either this one or over here where I just put it, or over on this one. So let's say this angle is over here and it goes like this. How do I know whether I should read that angle as 70 or 110? Exactly. It's an obtuse angle. Since it's obtuse, it must be greater than 90. So it has to be the 110. On the other hand, if I had an angle like this, how do I know whether that should, of course, I'm just off the 40 there, so that would be either 41 or 139. Which one would it be?
41.
That would have to be the 41. This here is labeled 160 and 20. Which one would it be? It'd have to be the 20 because it's acute. I'm not going to spend a lot of time dealing with the protractor because I'm going to assume you guys have seen a protractor and can handle it. If you guys can handle a tape measure, a protractor is just a similar practice. And I know Chris has drilled the tape measure into your head by this point.
Yes.
Okay. We talked briefly about this situation. If this angle here is 21 degrees, what's this one have to be?
79.
Careful. 69. Those two angles must add up to 90 degrees. If they add up to 90 degrees, they are called complements, complementary. So if I tell you that two angles are complements, or if I ask you to find the complement of 51 degrees, 37 minutes, 48 seconds. How am I going to do that? Subtract that from 90 degrees. Now we have to line up the degrees. There are no minutes or seconds to line up with, so what are we going to do? Put in zeros. Very good. We are subtracting 0 minus 48. Got to borrow, right? There's nothing here to borrow, so I'm going to go all the way to the 90. This is going to be 89. This is going to become 60. We'll borrow from that and make this 59. This will become 60. So now 60 minus 48, 12. 59 minus 37, 22. And 51 minus, what did I put it? Or 89 minus 51, sorry. That's 38. Make sense? So in your notes, I want you to find complement of 17 degrees, 51 minutes, 12 seconds. So did you get 72 degrees, 8 minutes, 48 seconds? Good deal. If that angle is 123 degrees, what's this angle have to be? Why 57? If they add up to 180 degrees, they are called supplementary. So supplementary angles add up to 180. So if I ask you, find the supplement of 103 degrees, 18 minutes, and 37 seconds, I am asking you to subtract 180 minus 103, 1837. And yes, I do fill in zeros. And we do have to borrow. The 180 is going to become 179. This will be 60, but we got to borrow from that to make it 59. And this one's 60. So now 60 minus 37 is 23. 59 minus 18 is 41, and 179 minus 103 is 76. Questions? Pretty much. So find the supplement of 31 degrees, 27 minutes, 18 seconds. You get 148, 32, 42.
Yes.
Cool. So now that we have these calculations down, let's look at naming angles. To name an angle, there's actually several different ways to do it. One way you can name an angle is with a number. You can call that angle 1. So the notation would just be angle 1, like that. There's a slight difference between angle 1 and that. M angle 1 is called, that's read measure of angle 1. This is actually asking a question. If you see that notation, it's asking how many degrees is angle 1. This here can still be used. You can say find the given angles and list angle 1. You'd still have to find the angle, but this is actually asking a question down here. We can just call it angle G. In this case, it's pretty obvious which one's angle G. But if I were to add another line there with some more points on it, now which one is angle G is not quite so obvious. I might call this angle 2. Or we could name them a little bit more precisely by naming a point on one side, naming the vertex, and then naming a point on the other side. BGD is telling me it has to be that angle right there. Now, of course, that same angle could be named MGD. Could be labeled MGP, or it could be labeled BGP. All of those are suitable names for that angle. The only thing that's actually required is that the vertex must be in the middle. Then 1 point from each side. So, yes. Yep, you could have done PGB, PGM, DGP, or DGB, DGM. Yeah, there's all sorts of combos. So given this here, if I tell you that angle MDS is 18 degrees and angle PDR is 131 degrees, can you find angle RDS? I didn't put the M in front of it, so I'm asking the question. The measure of angle PDM and the measure of angle PDS. Find those for me, please. So RDS, well, first of all, MDP is 18. Where does that go? MDS is right there. That's 18 degrees. PDR, that's this whole big thing. It's 131 degrees. So to find RDS, that's this one. How are we going to find that one? (90 minus 18 is 72 degrees. Very good. PDM here. How do we find PDM? (131 minus 90 is 41 degrees. PDS, that is this one. I'll do it in a different color. Well, PDM is 41, plus MDS is 18. Add them together, 59 degrees. Good stuff?
That's not too bad.
Not terrible. By the way, there is another angle, PDR here. That one, which is going to be 229 degrees. We always assume it's the angle less than 180 degrees when we're asked for, unless it's specified. But usually assume it's the smaller of the two. In the big book, I'm going to have you work on page 470, exercise 20-6, page 472 through 473, exercise 20-7, and page 476 through 477. Exercise 21-3. So take a look at those. I'll give you the last 16 minutes here of the first hour to work on that homework, and then we'll start some new stuff.